Okay. 19th of January, Rabbi Levitt. Where are we? We're in the middle of Pele Yoetz.
Yep.
We're in the middle of Pele Yoetz. Pele Yoetz is talking about ribbis, and we're investigating the 5 different psukim in the Chumash that point out that there are 5 separate Torah prohibitions for participating in a loan agreement which involves the payment of ribbis. And Meir has just asked a very good question. If so, then how is it that we keep our money in the banks here in Eretz Yisrael, and they're paying us ribbis? So how is that permissible? How can we do that? So what we have to understand is that the banks here in Israel, they make use of the heter iska.
That's what he talked about.
They're supposed to have it. I admit that I haven't personally investigated the bank that I do business with to see where they have a heter iska, but I'm basically sure that it does. I don't know
I asked at my bank, and they said yes, they have it. I haven't actually seen the document, but it'll be in Hebrew, so I wouldn't be able to read it anyway.
Yeah. So I haven't really heard anything from Rabbanim about you should go to this bank as opposed to that bank because this bank has a heter iska which is a kosher one, and that bank has a heter iska which is not a kosher one. I haven't heard that, although I haven't asked, but I would assume that I would have heard that there's a difference between the banks, just like we say, like when it comes to food, right? We were talking about eating something that's not kosher, and oy vavoy, we know how serious this is taken in Klal Yisrael, which is a good thing, of course. And we even have kashrus supervisory agencies that are monitoring the kashrus of the food that we buy, and even there's different. If you ask Rabbanim, they'll say, "Oh, this is a good kashrus organization, very reliable, up and up, and very high standards." And you'll ask about that one, they'll say, "Oh, that one? Oh, well, I'm not so familiar with that one." And you get the idea that, oh, okay, well, but I haven't heard anything about banks. So I would, maybe it's an interesting question to ask your local Orthodox rabbi. You might find though that he said, "I don't know." But that would be a good question, I think. Very good question. In other words, you ask him, "Rabbi, you always tell us there's a difference between eating from this kashrus organization and that kashrus organization. What about having a bank account in this bank as opposed to that bank? Is there any difference as far as you know?" Okay. Anyway, so that's those are 2 psukim right there, and so there's 3 more, and maybe we won't. You get the point that there are, since there are 5 different psukim that say don't lend with ribbis. Why do we have to have 5 different psukim that say don't lend with ribbis? So the answer is because the Torah wants to tell us that when somebody lends with ribbis, he's not simply violating one Torah prohibition; he's violating 5 Torah prohibitions, and that makes that prohibition of lending with ribbis much more severe, even than eating pork. 5 times as severe, says the Pele Yoetz. or maybe, well, he didn't say that. But there is certainly a insinuation that it's obviously, we have to say that it's in fact more severe of a prohibition than eating pork. Okay. So, and with that, we will have a round of applause for Ribis. Page 282. And
Yeah.
now we're going to go to, do we have any time left?
Well,
2 minutes.
about a minute, yeah.
A few minutes. Oh, well. Well, maybe we should look at the other ones then, instead of starting a new section.
Yeah.
The other pasuk is also, there's a pasuk over here in Shmos. So if you don't have a Shmos, I'm not going to ask you to go and get it right now. But there is you have a Shmos right there?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's chapter 22.
Okay, 22.
And in chapter 22, it's verse 24.
Okay, so the English says, when you lend money to my people, this must be Hashem speaking because my is capitalized. So when you lend money to my people, to the poor person who is with you, do not act toward him as a creditor. Do not lay interest upon him. And it's talking about neshek here. Do not lay neshek on him.
Oh,
So maybe that's the difference between neshek and tarbi. Maybe neshek and neshek, when you lend to a poor person, it's like taking a bite out of him.
oh, I see. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Very good. And so then, so that's another prohibition. And then there's also the prohibition of lifnei iber. This is the Mishnah in Bava Metzia 75b. These are the last words of the Mishnah. The last prohibition is lifnei iber lo sitein mikshel. Don't put a stumbling block before a blind person. V'yaresa ve'elokecha. And once again, it says these same words that it said previously in the pasuk on Ribis, and fear Hashem your God. Ani Hashem, I am Hashem. And this pasuk is in Vayikra chapter 19. Chapter 19, verse 14.
1914. Okay, it must be in Kedoshim then. Okay, so it says, 1914 says, you shall not curse the thief, and you shall not place a stumbling block before the blind. You shall fear your God. I am Hashem.
Right.
So that's not to be taken only literally, but maybe figuratively too, based on what we've been learning.
Exactly. You see from the Mishnah here that someone who participates in a deal, whether he be the lender, whether he be the borrower, he is he's causing the person that he is participating with in this deal, which provides for the payment of ribis, he's causing the other person to do a sin. And that itself is a sin for him to do, to cause another Jew to do a sin. So since it takes two to tango, and also to have a contract for ribbis, so each one of them is causing the other one to violate all the other prohibitions, and for that, each one of them is violating another prohibition. So that's how it comes out to 5, based upon this pasuk.
This actually affected me when I bought my house in America. I was just a beginning Baal Tshuva. I knew very, very little, and I didn't know about the laws of ribbis. And I borrowed money from my parents, and I borrowed it at interest, with regular mortgage. And then I was learning actually what you just quoted. I was learning Bava Metzia. This is years later. This is like maybe 3, 4, 5 years later. I was learning, and I came upon this halakha that you're quoting about, the borrower is also guilty, potentially. And so I asked my rabbi, what do I do? And he sent me to a rabbi in New York who's a specialist on ribbis. And he had me, write a header iska, and I had to discuss it with my parents. And of course, that was very difficult because they were not religious. And, it was very, very touchy because, if I told them we did something wrong, they're going to be really insulted, because from their perspective, they did me a huge favor. They loaned me this money. They charged an interest rate which was relatively low compared to the market. And now I come along and I tell them, now according to my new religious beliefs, you're wicked people. So it was very touchy, but I had to, I had to go through and say that this is rent. It's not a loan. The money I'm paying you is rent. And we have to have this document. And they were questioning the document. They said we already have a document. It was very difficult.
Oh wow.
Okay, I have to go.
Okay, Mayor.
So everyone should have a good Shabbos. Okay.
Have a
Very good Shabbos, Mayor.
Thank you. And everyone should have a good Shabbos, and Alan, a refuah shlema.
Thank you.
Amen.
Amen. Okay.
We'll be back.